Hey my loves, it's your cosmic weather report for the week ahead. Now, the first thing I want to mention is that we've just had the autumn equinox on Saturday. And so what you might start to notice over these next few days is a real dip in your energy levels, as just like nature now is beginning to draw her energy inwards, we're being asked to do the same. So if you're feeling really tired, exhausted, no enthusiasm for anything, not really wanting to do anything, this is trying to support and help you to begin to now transition into that quieter, slower time of year. So it's like going down a gear, where we're being asked now to begin to slow down, to go more inwardly present, to begin to get more quiet and more still. And so if you are feeling that, honor it. It's a shift in season. Be really gentle with yourself and give yourself time to rest, to listen, to go in, and also to reflect on the year so far and what it's brought you so far. This is where we gather everything that we've achieved through the year, and then we use it to kind of sustain us through the autumn and the winter. Now, we're also now in Libra season. So Libra season really calls us into finding balance once more. So this is a time that we're really asked to look at, where are you giving too much of your energy to the outside world or to other people? Where are you focusing too much mental energy on worrying about things? Where are you giving too much? And where and how can you begin to receive a little bit more? And that might just be in becoming a little more quiet, a little more still, a little bit more self-care, a little bit more time for you. This is also a time that we get to look at relationships. Libra season always asks us to look at relationships. The relationship you have with yourself, the relationship you have with slowing down. Do you let yourself rest? Do you let yourself slow down? Do you give yourself time to just be quiet? Or do you always feel like you need to be doing and equate your worth with how much you're getting done? And then also the relationships in our lives. Are the relationships you have at the moment supporting you? Do you spend time with certain people and come away feeling really drained? Are there other people in your life you spend time around and you feel really uplifted and really wonderful? And so we'll actually just do a little relationship review. Now, to help with this, we've got Mars and Venus now traveling together in a sextile until the beginning of October. And these are the masculine and feminine energies of astrology. Mars being that masculine energy of drive, motivation, desire, and Venus being the feminine energy of our values, our worth, self-care, how we really feel about ourselves. So as these two now travel together, they're asking us to really begin to find a sense of inner balance and to begin to find balance in our relationships as well. Now, to help with this, on Monday, we have Mercury meeting Jupiter. And so this is going to be a really beautiful time if you do need to speak your truth or to set some boundaries or to have some conversations about relationships in your life. This is going to be a really beautiful time to do that. The energy is really supportive for being able to speak. It's also a really great day for beginning to expand your mind. And so if now through the equinox, through the autumn, as we're asked to shed and let go and release things that aren't serving us, you're wanting to perhaps let go of limiting beliefs or repetitive thoughts in your mind, or that little voice that constantly follows you around telling you certain things, Monday's a really good time to start to think about releasing and shedding some of those layers and limits that you put on yourself. So it might be that you begin to find some positive affirmations you can do through the week. It might be that you keep an eye on your self-talk of what you're telling yourself. So if you are saying to yourself, you should be doing something, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, when all you're wanting to do is rest, it's a good time to really kind of notice the thoughts and to expand your thoughts into something that serves you in a much better way. Now, that's going to continue through the week. The big theme I want to give you for this week after the autumn equinox is about shedding. It's about letting go. Go outside, look in nature. What's nature doing right now? Nature's beginning to let go and shed. And so this is a really powerful week to be honest with yourself about what it is time to let go of. And this is going to be really heavily supported by Friday's full moon. So on Friday, we get a full moon happening in Aries. This is quite a big deal, is this full moon. First of all, because it ties in with two Aries new moons we had in March and April of this year, one of them around the spring equinox. So we're really being asked at this moment where we're slowing down and going inwards to reflect on the year so far. So reflect back to March, April. You might be finding some themes coming up from around this time, some things that either need finishing up from around then, or some things you wanted to get started back then or do and you never got around to. And so really really notice or look back to March and April of what was happening for you, it's likely that these same kind of themes are going to be coming up again for you at this full moon. And this is the last full moon before we enter eclipse season. And so this full moon is going to give us a really, really big opportunity to let go of what we no longer need so that the eclipses don't need to remove it for you. Now, on this same day, we've got Venus meeting Uranus. And this is, again, really big news for Uranus. Is the planet of liberation and freedom and being authentically who we are, and Venus being that planet of ourselves, our relationship with self, our values. So around this full moon on Friday, there's going to be a really big need to want to be yourself, especially if you've used the first part of the week for that reflective work, for that going inwards, for that sitting with yourself, for doing that little relationship check-in, for reviewing what you need to let go of. There's going to be a really visceral need on Friday to want to begin to be all of yourself, to want to start to let go of those things that get in the way of you being who you want to be, that get in the way of you speaking your truth and showing up authentically in your life. And I'd really encourage you to use this full moon on Friday and the autumn equinox energies and those Libra energies of finding balance and harmony and alignment to get really honest. Aries is going to give you the courage to, first of all, be honest about what isn't working in your life and likely hasn't been for a little while. It's going to give you the courage to begin to face those things. And it's going to give you the courage then to begin to be more you, to show up as more you. And so I would say this week, use the beginning part of the week to just really do that reflection. Look back to March, look back to April. What was happening back then? Is anything coming back up around then? Or what you might notice towards the end of the week is a lot of frustration, especially if you are still stuck in the same thought processes or doubts or situations that you were back then. And this is going to be a really powerful check-in point to see how far you've come or not since the spring equinox, and to then do something about it. This will mean the eclipses then will be a much easier ride. If the eclipses don't need to course correct you quite so much, you're going to find those eclipses much easier if you use this Aries moon to find that courage and that bravery to get honest about, this isn't working. I don't want this in my life anymore. This isn't working for me. This isn't serving me. This isn't allowing me to be in my fullest potential. And this is what I'm now ready to shed and release and let go of. So a really beautiful week of going inwards, of self-reflection, of looking back over the past months and not only kind of maybe where things have been stuck, but what have you achieved? What have you done? How have you grown? Really take some time to reap the rewards of the last few months as well. What did you make happen over spring and summer? Find the real gratitude. The autumn equinox is all about gratitude for what you've got. Because remember that saying that the easiest way to get what you want is to be grateful for what you already have. So find the gratitude for everything you've grown in your life, but then the honest check-in. Where did I get stuck? Where did I get out of alignment? Where did I lose myself? Where did I scatter myself? Where did I abandon myself? And how can I now bring it back into finding inner balance and peace and harmony as we begin to draw inwards over autumn, and then using that full moon as a big release point of, this is what I no longer want. This is what I don't want to take into autumn and winter with me. And then you'll find, as I say, the eclipses will be a much more soul aligning ride than having to bring you back into alignment first. So enjoy the energies of this week. If you are feeling that exhaustion, that tiredness, please honor it. Please honor it. This is your soul saying, please come back. Please slow down. Stop rushing so much out there and come back in here instead. So use the first part of this week to do that deep inner listening, and then towards the end of the week, that real shedding and letting go to create the space for what those eclipses want to bring in. As always, I really hope this has helped. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this community. I'm sending you so much love, and you have my full permission this week to slow down, to go in, to get quiet, still, and listen. And you might just find what you're looking for in there. Have a beautiful week, my darlings. I'll see you soon.